Will Democrats hold the United States Senate or will the Republicans take charge in 2025? And who are our toss up states going to be that could determine the outcome of the United States Senate? This and much more right now, right here on Ron Real Politics. As we take a look at the landscape, we can easily see that the map right here is pretty evenly matched, but we're going to start to fill out our Democrat safe states and then our red states for Republican. But our toss-up states are the ones that we really need to look at, especially in this 2024 election going into November and for you to vote. Now, let's take a look at our map here. And as we keep going down this path, I want to know what your thoughts are in the comments section because we got a lot of ground to cover. So let's start off with our safe Democrat states first. Now, we easily got the state of California. Obviously, that's not going to go anywhere. That's pretty safe for Democrats. Connecticut is going to be a very safe one. We're going to do these in alphabetical order. So then we got Delaware. Delaware's obviously going to sit here and stay in Democrat hands. Hawaii, for some reason, they sure love to vote Democrat. We don't know why, but could the Maui Fires flip on them in unprecedented move, which would be fantastic. It would be amazing. Now, obviously, we got the state of Maryland, Democrat. We got the state of Massachusetts, Democrat. Now, let's keep going down this. New Jersey, we really think that New Jersey will hold the U.S. Senate seat. There's no surprise there. I mean, if you guys are surprised, let me know in the comments. New York, do you really think that maybe a Republican could maybe tip the scale a little bit? I think so. So we're going to really tilt that blue, but not all the way blue like in years past, because there could be a surge of just, Republican voters that are going to show up and show out, especially after Donald Trump. Everything that's went on with Donald Trump in the past 2 weeks, especially in New York State, especially in Manhattan. Are you kidding me? New Yorkers are pissed. They're fed up, especially Long Island, especially the island of Manhattan, and especially upstate New York, where they are looking down at the city saying, hey, man, if you're going after the former president of the United States, yeah, we're going to go against you at some point. When we look at New Mexico, that's obviously going to stay Democrat. That's pretty solid Democrat. Now, when we look at Rhode Island, there's another Democrat state that just won't flip into Republican hands. The state of Washington, this could actually tilt, and so we're going to tilt that to the Democrats, but there is enough room for the margin of error to maybe we can flip that. Vermont. Now, Vermont's an independent state. Obviously, Bernie Sanders is from there and running for re-election right now. Could he get that? And I want to know what your thoughts are. He does have a challenger, but will Bernie Sanders get re-elected? We think so because of the still feel the burn, even though he's a million years old and probably should retire. We're going to go Vermont, very safe. That's easy to say. Now, when we look at the Republicans, who are the safe ones? Now, we're going to go over, again, in alphabetical order. Indiana, very safe. Mississippi, very safe. Missouri, safe. Now, when it comes to Nebraska, okay, both of these are going to be safe in the Republican hands. That's easy. If you think that a place like Omaha is going to flip or lean into the Democrat state, you're off your rocker. And I'm just going to tell you that right now because that is up in the night, that shit crazy. All right? Now, when we look towards Tennessee, obviously safe Republican. Utah, regardless of whoever wins this month on June 25th, whether it be Trent Stagg, whether it be John Curtis, Brad Wilson, it doesn't matter who wins. This is going to be safe Republican. West Virginia, another state, safe Republican. And then we're going to go over and we start to get into the toss-up states. Here's where the math becomes a little bit more calculable because you got some states that are lean Democrat and some that are lean and tilt Republican, but they can be easily flipped. Now, I want to know what you guys think. Oh, I apologize right now, Florida. After 2020, after 2022, and going into 2024, I'm pretty sure you're freaking safe. All right, so that is just what we have so far. Now, let's start getting into our toss-up states, shall we? And again, with these toss-up states, I'm going to keep going down the alphabetical order right now because that is the only way to do it. Now, we see that in Arizona, that's the first one we're going to start with. We got Arizona. So we got the Republican candidate, Kari Lake, who's obviously going to win nomination over Mark Lamb and over Elizabeth Ray. She's going to go up against Ruben Diego, who is a Democrat, because the incumbent right now of Kyrsten Sinema, who switched parties, remember, well, not switched parties, but she gave up being a Democrat to become an independent, but she is not vying for re-election. She's actually retiring. So could this be Kari Lake's best opportunity? And we think so. This can't be too hard, but it's going to be really tough because we have a lot of election interference, especially from their offices, especially with the new governor that they have down there. Remember that whole fiasco in 2022? That was an absolute dog shit show. And we really think that Kari Lake could swing that balance to the Republican side. So let's keep going down this list, shall we? And let's look at the state of Michigan. Now, Michigan is one of those states that is going to be a really big toss-up state because they're surging demographics, especially around the Detroit area. Detroit's becoming one of those desolate cities that nobody gives a rat's ass about. But if you look to it, it is really toss-up, really kind of tilt Democrat with Debbie Starborough. Now, she is an incumbent who is retiring. This is a good thing. But right now, well, Justin Amos, all right, Sherry O'Donnell, Sandy Pensler, or Mike Rogers, could they get that nomination against maybe Hill Harper, who's a Democrat, and then Elisa, I can't pronounce her last name, I'm not going to, but could this shift, especially with the shifting demographics around Ann Arbor and Detroit, could this shift? Because a lot of Democrats, especially the black vote, they are not going to turn out for the Democrats like they have in past elections. This should be an easy pickup for the Republican Party, especially with all the down ballots that are going to take place. So we really think Michigan, you can be one of those. But you're going to go very, very light pink because with the Democrats still holding a 51.4% with that seat, you will have to get that and gain that and maintain that throughout the night and not just, try to flip it in the Detroit or Ann Arbor areas. But this is what we can do. We can flip Michigan for the United States Senate seat, and it all becomes to you, the voter, in the state of Michigan. All right, so let's keep going down this list. Now that we got that out of the way, we're going to focus our attention on Nevada. Now, with Nevada comes a little bit of a problem. You got Clark County in Nevada, right? And Clark County is the biggest one because of Las Vegas, but you also got the Reno area. But can Sam Brown, who's going to be the Republican nominee, obviously, and running in the general election for the state of Nevada, can he flip? Now, mind you, Nevada has a 50.4 Democrat lead, okay, very lean, against a incumbent renomination in Jackie Rosen. I think Jackie can be done for because of the demographic shift in the state of Nevada, and Nevadans are really pissed off. You want to know why they're pissed off? They're really pissed off because of the economic downturn, that they are not seeing the fruits of their labors. So we can easily see Nevada. This is your one and only shot, Nevada. Don't screw it up, okay? This can be coming back to the Republican hands, which you need. It can join Arizona and be in that tilt to lean to the Republican Party. And right now, that would put the Republicans in 48-38 hands. But remember, right now, with Joe Biden in office, Kamala Harris does have a tiebreaker for any legislation in the U.S. Senate. So, where else in this map, can the Republicans gain and maintain power for the United States Senate? Okay, now we got Montana, we got North Dakota, we got Minnesota, Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia. Okay, and Virginia is going to be one of those that are, it's going to be one of those that we're going to talk about later down the line, because we really think that maybe it could flip. But let's keep going down our list right here, and we can go in the state of Montana. Now, here's the surprising thing when it comes to Montana. Beautiful view. If you've never been there, I encourage you to go there. But the Democrats hold that seat to a 50.3, and the incumbent got renominated with Jon Tester. Now, Jon has done a horrible job. He's going to be voting for Democrat policies, but will Tom Shealy, the Republican challenger, can he overcome that 50.3? And I believe he can, especially when it comes to a presidential cycle. So we're going to give a flip. Now, this could change. Don't hold me, but Montana, you're basically a Republican state anyway. So let's just push you to tilt to likely Republican. Let's not get overzealous to put you solid because of the presidential. You're going to be solid. Donald Trump, that's who you're going for. But this is the U.S. Senate, and you're going to hopefully come home. So if you live in the state of Montana, whether it's Helena or Billings, please talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to the residents of Montana. Let's flip it back into the control of the GOP. All right, as we go down now, we got the state of Ohio. Now, I never thought we would actually have to fight this hard for the state of Ohio. But I want to know what your thoughts on this are, because right now, it's going to come down to Bernie Moreno. And that's how you say his last name. It's not Moreno, it's Moreno. Will Bernie Moreno, which I really think he can actually flip that, versus Sherrod Brown, who's a Democrat who got renominated. So when it comes down to Bernie Moreno, I have endorsed him. Ron Real has endorsed him. I have personally endorsed him. So Bernie, what can you do to overcome a 53.4 Democrat hold right now for the U.S. Senate? Well, it's all about name ID. It's all about putting money into certain places in Ohio. Now, Cleveland's going to be a lost cause. Cincinnati's going to be a lost cause. And they have another major city there. I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's a lost cause. But the surrounding areas around those suburbs of those major three cities, okay, can you switch over to the GOP? And we think you can, but the messaging has to be on point. Right now, as of this map, Bernie Moreno, you're going to have a little bit of a really challenge, but we're going to tilt you for now. Now, as the election comes closer to November, this can always switch back into Democrat hands. However, we really don't think so. We really think that Bernie Moreno can switch over the state of Ohio. It should be that simple. Now, let's keep going down our list. We got the state of Pennsylvania, which is a lead Democrat state. And if we look at what Pennsylvania is doing right now, we got David McCormick, who got ousted by Dr. Oz in 2022. We all know that. He ran for the nomination, got it this term. I was hoping Dr. Oz or the other lady who got out in 2022, I thought she would be a more viable candidate. But Bob Casey Jr., who's a Democrat, has done an absolutely horrible ass job when it comes down to it. Okay, he got in there in 2006, got reelected in 2012, and then got reelected also back in 2018. But now it is 2020. He's had his 3 cycles. He's had his 18 years. But can Dave McCormick overcome this? And I hate to do this. I really hate to do this. He was not very popular in 2022. They might just screw the pooch, especially with the suburbs of Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. But we're going to go very tilt to the Democrats right now, which they picked up another seat, but right now it is in Republican hands. But we want to keep the majority all we can. All right? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. We need to make sure that we keep this in Republican hands. Our next state, let's go down to Wisconsin. Now, Wisconsin is lean Democrat. Very lean Democrat. Okay? And same with Texas. Texas, even though Ted Cruz is popular in most of the Republican states, it seems to be like Ted Cruz is not very popular when it comes to Texas for some reason. But there are a lot of shifting demographics, especially with the insurgence of all the migrants that are coming in who are starting to get registered as Democrats. This could be a bad sign for Texas. Right now, we're talking about Wisconsin. And what we're going to do with Wisconsin is we're going to go down, we're going to see who Wisconsin is running, and it is going to be between Eric Howard and Charles Barron. Now, what the Democrats do have Wisconsin in a little bit of a stranglehold. They're outside the margin of error, 55.4 for the Democrats. Now, if the Republicans get that down ballot, which they should, they easily can do it. But right now, Wisconsin, I really don't want to put you as a Democrat state, but you're going to. But Texas, you're going to stay in Republican hands, and we're going to put you likely. We're not going to put you solid as in for the U.S. Senate. But we're going to easily put you as one of the likely to stay and maintain Republican power. Same with North Dakota. It should be easy right there, even though there is a little bit of a challenge there. Virginia, sadly, that's going to probably fall into Democrat hands. Now, we're going to put that in the most likely, not solid. Maine, same thing. I hate to do it, but we need to focus right here, right on Minnesota. Let's talk about that, because after the squad member, Ilhan Omar, has basically screwed over your state, do you really want somebody who's going to be a Democrat who represents the entire state, not just the Twin Cities, not just this segment of the Twin Cities? Do you really want that, especially in rural Minnesota? And the answer is no. Right now, the Democrats have a stronghold at 60.3% with Amy Klobuchar. But Amy Klobuchar is a dumpster fire candidate. She is a dumpster fire, but she is effective in the United States Senate. And out of the, possibly 7 challengers for the Republican nomination, which hasn't happened yet, I hate to say this, but it looks like as of right now that the Democrats will hold solidly the state of Minnesota. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this map. Let me know what your thoughts and feelings are down in the comment section. Let's get this a little bit more leaning to the Republican side so that we have that super majority, even though we will never get that 60%. But let's get as close as we can to put pressure on the Democrats from here on out. Anyway, this has been a production of Raw Real Politics. This is the United States Senate map for June for your prediction. And let's take this, let's win this in November. Anyway, have a good night. I'm Jensen for Raw Real, and we are out of here, baby. Have a great night.